Hello everyone, this is Supraj Venkat. Welcome to Throttle and Tails. In today's episode, I'm going to be doing level 1 training for a couple of my friends, Anand and Thangavel. Anand rides a Ducati Multistrada 950 and Thangavel used to ride GSA 1200, but then now he's moved to a Honda ADV 750 scooter. The drills are still very similar. I mean, the only difference, it doesn't have a clutch, that's it. So we're going to do some drills. These are drills, basic drills that anybody should be able to do at home. This is absolutely the foundation for slow speed riding. So I'm going to show them a drill at a time, and then they're going to do it. Hopefully you'll find this useful, and if you're getting into big bikes and want to learn the foundations, you could maybe try and do these drills at home. Let's get started. So the first drill is clutch control. So what I'd like you to do is pull the clutch fully in and feel the point where the motorcycle starts to move. Okay, that's your friction point, because all slow speed drills happen around that friction point. And Thangavel, what you could do in your scooter is close the throttle and open it just a little bit. You need to feel that point where the scooter starts to move. Okay, that's what this drill is all about. Let me show you how it's done. That's it. So no throttle. I'm just feeling that point where the motorcycle is moving. So just feel that point where the motorcycle just wants to move on its own. Yeah, that's the friction point. If you get used to that feeling, then everything else follows. Yeah, let's try it out. So just feel that point, the slow point, the point when you start giving a throttle, the vehicle moves. That's the feeling that I want you to understand. Yeah, good, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that bite point. Very good. So if you use 2 fingers on the clutch, you'll have more modulation rather than 4. So just 2 fingers and just let go of the clutch, so you start feeling the bike, and keep it there. Hold the clutch there. Yeah, nice. Drill is the same technique. Try and see how slowly you could go from this cone to that cone without keeping your feet down. All right, so that's the idea of this drill. So what you're trying to learn there is balance and clutch control. Okay, what you could do is use your rear brake. Do not use your front brake, but if you want to stabilize the motorcycle, let go of the clutch and then use the rear brake a little bit. That will help you to balance the motorcycle. Let me show you. Yeah, like that. Very nice. Very nice. Great. Very nice. Yep. Loosen up your body a bit. It's very stiff, very tight. So just, do some deep breathing and then relaxed. Relax. Enjoy. Friction point. So the next drill is just set 4 cones apart apart like this, and then just do 4 right turns, and then we'll do left turns. So that we use what we learned previously in this topic. So the clutch, the slow speed, and then you're doing the 4 turns. The next thing we're going to focus here on is the vision, right? So this will happen only if you're looking at the right point. So if you're looking down, you won't be able to make these 4 corners, right? So in this drill, it's all about the vision. So when I'm approaching this right corner, I'm going to be looking at the next corner. When I'm there, I'm already going to look at that one, yeah? So just watch my head. See, I'm already looking there. Now I'm looking at that cone. Now I'm looking at the other cone. So the key here is you need to keep looking around the cones, right? So this helps you to practice not to look below you, because a lot of riders, the mistake they do is they're looking right in front here. But if you're looking there, you can't turn around. So in this exercise, look around and make these 4 right turns, and then do the reverse left, because each person has a dominant side. You might find the right easy but the left hard. So you'll figure it out when you do this exercise. When you're there, you need to be seeing here. When you're here, you need to be seeing there, right? So always 1 cone ahead. Yeah, good. Yeah, very nice. The other cone, you were still watching there. Yes, exactly. Don't look there, because you've already scanned that. Correct. Very nice. Yeah, good. Oh, 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 oh. And I think you were too close to him. You were not looking around. You okay, right? That's why it's important to be fully geared up even when doing slow speed drills. Good, he's okay. The next drill is you have a cone in the middle and then do circles around it without keeping your feet down. So you've got to use what you learned in the previous drill of looking around, because there you had 4 cones, so you were able to look at the next cone. Now you have to force yourself to look at this imaginary circle. You have to draw that line in your mind, and you've got to keep looking at it. You're not target fixating. For example, when I'm here, I'm not just doing that. As I'm riding, my head is constantly circling. So, let's show you. See, if you watch my head, I'm constantly looking where I want the motorcycle to go. So this is an imaginary line that you draw in your head, and you just keep circling like this. So first do this with the whichever your dominant side is, and then repeat it with your non-dominant side. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Good. Smoother. Throttle smoother. If you need to slow down, use a rear brake. But throttle at that friction point, keep it there. And the rear brake, just squeeze if you need to slow it down. The other side. Throttle, smooth throttle. So for you, left side is easier, right? right side is more harder. That's fine. You know, the more you practice, you'll get it. Anand, you want to go? Friction point, pull the clutch a little bit in, and you're leaning the motorcycle in, which is good, but you're not counterbalancing, right? Exactly. So what you do, it's okay that you lean, put weight on the outside peg, okay? Yeah. Very good. Anand, keep looking at me. Look at me. Keep looking at me. Keep looking at me. That's it. That's all you have to do. See? Just keep looking at me. As long as you're looking here, you'll be fine. It's when you're chopping your eyes, you know, that's when the problem is, right? So just keep looking at me and do a few laps, you'll be fine. Yeah, just look at me. That's it. See? See, now your head is still, it's not moving too much, you're not scanning, and then you're able to do it smoothly. So the next drill is figure of eighths. So here you'll start using everything that we learned previously. So first the clutch control, then the vision, the body balance. So when you have that, you'd be able to do eighths because you have to look through that imaginary line and you're balancing the body. In level 1, we don't stand up. We just sit and do these exercises. In level 2, we'll be standing when it becomes much more easier. But for now, you know, just put two cones maybe 6 meters apart and try and do figure of eights like this. So I'm looking at the imaginary line that I want to ride through. That's the key here, yeah? And I'm balancing my body, I'm moving a little bit around on the motorcycle, and I'm trusting that the motorcycle is going to follow the line that I choose because of the clutch control drill that we did. So as long as you're around that friction point, you have tremendous control. The bike is not going far away from you. If you let go of the clutch, then you know you're just controlling the motorcycle with the throttle and it becomes harder, right? So around the friction point, head around, looking where you want to go, and you should be able to do this. Okay, just look at me. Go there. Yeah, keep looking at me. It's okay, trust it. You have to trust. Yeah, see? That's all, just trust. Look around, look here, look here. Yeah. Now look there. Yeah, look around. When you're here, the head should be looking around. See, that's where you want to go, right? You should be looking like this. And then, you know, you're looking here. See, my head is already looking there. I'm not looking here at all. The next is the U-turn. I guess arguably that's the place where most people fall down, especially when you're doing switchbacks. So we're going to add one more concept to do this properly, which is pegging the weight of the bike. So simply put, if you want to turn right at slow speed, you need to weigh the opposite peg. So for example, if I want to turn right, I put more pressure on my left leg and the bike leans, right? So I don't lean. You know, in slow corners, you don't lean like this, but you let the bike lean. But then when the bike is leaning, you need to counterbalance it. right? So if you're doing a tight right turn, put more weight on the outside leg. Right, that's it, simple. So just add this to everything else we've learned and you should be able to do these U-turns nice and easy. Let me show you how. That's it. So I'm just putting my weight completely on the outside and you could do it like that, yeah? Obviously standing makes everything easier, but then in this we're just going to stick to this, and I'll show you why the lean is important. Now, if you consider the bike, is just straight and I'm just using the handlebar, let's see what the turning radius is going to be, okay? So fully locked, the bike is straight. So you can see the turning radius, right? Now, let me show you what happens when there's a lean angle. Do you see how tight the turning radius has become? Earlier I went till there, now it gets tighter and tighter the more you lean. That's why leaning the motorcycle is important, especially if you want to do tight turns. You've got to lean the motorcycle. But when you lean the motorcycle, you need to counterbalance. That's why you pick the outside. So yeah, let's try it out. Very nice. Very nice. Very good. Okay, the other way around now. Very nice. It's the same radius. It's exactly where you were turning earlier. But since I pushed it a bit forward, you're worried. Don't worry. It's the same turn. You were turning right here. So just do the same thing. How did you find the session?
Yeah, it's very nice. Basically, I had a fear in my mind before learning these exercises. This brings a lot of confidence that where to look, how to balance the bike. So it really helps. The fear has come out.
Very nice. Awesome.
So keep on practicing.
Exactly. That's the key. So in a day, there's only so much, but at least you understand the concepts now. So then you go home and then you practice this, then you'll be rocking it. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. So Anand, how did you find it? You had a couple of falls.
Yes, Supraj. It's quite humbling, to be honest. You call this level 1, but it was quite difficult. And by no means am I a newbie. I mean, I've ridden close to 20,000 kilometers, but never done any of these drills. So first time trying this.
Yeah.
It was hard, but it got a little easier as you understand why certain things work certain ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we need to work on it a lot, spend more time on this, and I'm sure if we do this, it'll help us with our road.
Absolutely.
biking as well.
So that's the key point here. So these drills, what they help with is it becomes second nature. You know, when you're doing these tight turns, you know, because on the road you could have a dog, you know, suddenly cross in, you know, and at that time, if you've not done these drills, you wouldn't know how to, you know, quickly change direction. And when you're doing these tight switchback simulations, even wherever you're riding in the world, right, that will all look very easy to you. You know, you never have a static fall after that. So yeah, in a controlled environment, you know, so I just practice more, and you did well. Well done, mate. Cheers.
Thank you.
Yeah, pleasure.